in a really, really long time. She keeps saying she's going to do more videos, but then she never does, because she's just a big fat liar. Anyway, finally got a moment for, she's had moments, ambition. It's ambition that she's been lacking, let's be honest. Anyway, she finally got some ambition to shoot a video, and now we're going to see if she'll have ambition to actually edit and post it. But let's check out this latest Trainwreck tutorial.
Well, hello everybody. It is Saturday, May 1st, and I have to be quiet. Brian is taking his real estate exam. They're letting him do it online, and they monitor the room for noise, and apparently he has to take his webcam and scan the room every once in a while to make sure he's alone and not cheating. So we are confined to the room for the next couple of hours until he's finished with his exam. But that's okay, because we're good with that. Now, it's been a very long time since I posted a video. I've recorded a couple, but they were such horrible train wrecks that I never posted the videos. I can't even bear to edit them. I tried. Last week we went to the beach. He went fishing and I fell asleep on a lounge chair and got such a bad sunburn that yesterday it started blistering and peeling. So I'm a hot mess, hot, peely, disgusting mess on my back. But we went down to this fort in St. Petersburg. Fort, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, that's where we went last weekend. And yeah, so anyway, I gotta stay out of the sun too till this heals. But what are we going to do right now? Well, one of the failed attempts of a Trainwreck tutorial was the beaded cross stitch. I had no idea what I was doing, screwed it all up, had to rip it all out. But this is how far I've gotten since recording that, and that was a couple weeks ago. And now that I've figured out how to do it, we're going to do a less disastrous Trainwreck tutorial for this. Other things I've done, I rearranged again a little bit. There was hardly any room to get between the bed and the TV over there because I had a table over here that was, anyway, I moved that there, and it's not major, but just slight rearranging. And yeah, so Lily loves to steal everything for this particular project. I keep finding, like my needle threader she took, and my thread. I tried to be more careful with my needles. Plenty of you have been warning me about that. So let me get the camera set up and I'll show you how I've been doing this now that I kind of figured out what I was doing, because the instructions were pretty vague. I might show you those too one more time just so you see kind of what kind of guidance I was provided on this. All right, let me get this set up. Okay, so this was the extent of the Oh, look. Watch the video. That might have been helpful. So it just gives what it's got for contents, including full instruction. Okay. The half cross stitch is a simple diagonal stitch and is done in horizontal rows. To do a half stitch, bring the needle up from the back side of the fabric at 1. Make a diagonal stitch with a bead of necessary color down into 2, up at 3, add a bead down at 4, lather, rinse, and repeat. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay, and then the back stitch. To do a back stitch, bring up the needle at 1 from the back side, add a bead, bring the needle down at 2, make a stitch on the back side, pull the needle out on the front side at 3, add the bead, bring the needle with the bead into the canvas at 1, and proceed the same way. Okay, that makes sense. In patterns with round techniques, use the back stitch and start from the very middle. Fix the first, the last, and the single beads with double stitch. Oh, I didn't read these. Okay, well, I didn't do double stitches. The first, the last, and the single beads. What single beads? I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Do not use round hoops. Avoid damaging the printed area, which is recommended to use a scroll frame while working on the kit. Scroll frame is not included. Okay. If your beadwork needs to be washed, follow these instructions. Okay. And then it shows this picture. Okay, start here. But being used to cross stitch, you have a grid basically for the holes in your fabric. And they make it look like there's a grid. There's not really a grid. They got little dots there. Oh, and they make that look like that's going straight up and down. They make it look like the symbol is like those are straight up and down ovals. Those are diagonal ovals. Okay, let's see what's actually going on. This is not like normal cross-stitch fabric where you've got holes that you can see where you're supposed to come up and down. They just have the little colors printed right onto the fabric. Excuse me. So originally, when I started, let me grab a needle. I was putting my thread from here to here. And then I realized after putting a whole bunch in that my beads looked wonky. Well, that's because this little printed thing is like the direction of the bead surface. So you actually want to be going up and down on the sides of it into the black. They gave white thread, which in this particular one it probably would have looked better with black. Because every once in a while you can see the thread peeking through. I suppose I could go look for some black thread. That would make sense, but I'm just, excuse me, just using what came with it. So, whatever. But yeah, that was my big mistake. I did a whole bunch of it with the beads all aiming in the wrong direction and ripped it all out and stuff. But now that I've actually read the instructions, I've actually learned a little bit more than I did the first time. Lily, really, come on. I know, she's constantly. Okay, so that's where we're going. And then I've picked up a couple little tips along the way to kind of make it easier on you. So let me get you set up in a stand because I got the shaky shakes. and I'll sew a little bit for you and show you how this goes. Oh, one other thing. So I'm using my floor stand, and because of the beads and spilling all over the place, I've got it like as level as I can. And then I've got my little dashboard pad, sticky pad. I only pulled the backing off of half because I didn't want it like totally stuck to my fabric. And I put my beads on this to keep them from rolling all over the place while I'm working. So, and then I can turn this however I want so I can reach, because I've got it pretty high, like right under my nose. This is like chest level to me. Okay, get in the stand. Okay, that was a lot of dinking around, as usual. Let's start right here. And I'm gonna do this color for a little ways, and then I might backtrack and go, we're gonna wing it. So I've got my little pad, and then I'm gonna check my little key over on here. That would be, let's see here. That one looks like it would be number 12. And then I just used one of these little boxes. So number 12. I could use a little scoop, but I tend to just use my fingers to kind of pull a little pile out. There we go. That's good. All right. Here's the thread they gave, so I'm gonna do, I don't like threading these little seed bead needles. They're difficult, so I use a nice long piece of thread. Means I don't have to thread my needles quite so often. Okay. Now, I wear 3.0 readers, but I still have difficulty threading these little tiny needles. Apparently you can have trouble seeing them. Okay, there. So these little wire threaders actually work with the seed needles. And yeah, my needle's all bent. Anyway, so let's see here. Can't see a damn thing. Where is it? Oh, God. There, I got it. Okay. And get that in there. There we go. Haven't figured out a good way of starting and stopping my threads. So I just tie the living shit out of it on the back. Because I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to flip this thing over. Which means I shouldn't have poured my beads out until after I've got my thread started. But hey, because I didn't stick it down real hard, I can actually move this. You just got to be really careful where you're going to set it down, because I've stuck it to the table several times full of beads and then trying to peel it off the table. But I'm going to flip over my fabric and we'll try and secure this thread down. Not pretty. Okay, so let's see. I forgot where I'm starting. I think I'm over in this area. I think. So, let's see here. Again, I know this is not the proper way. I'm positive of it, but it's what I figured out. So I'll do that. So I'm underneath that stuff. And then I'm going to do just a slip knot over here. So just tie this like that. And then my needle through my slip knot and pull it down. There we go. Good enough. All right. Now, let's get you flipped back over again. All right, I came up in a completely different area. I wanted to be over there. I came up over here. That's okay. We'll start from, we'll do this little area. So, get it started. All right. And get my beads. Jasmine, quit kicking me. So rude. Let's see here. There we go. All right. And I try and get it as centered as I can. Going, you know, this way. I'm trying to get it in this center, going as far as top and bottom, whatever, centered. All right, and then grab a bead and down into the hole where my last thread had been. I'm gonna have to hit the focus thing on here because it's gonna keep picking up my finger. There we go. All right. See, now the instructions said to double stitch the first one. I suppose I could start doing that now. So go back up and back down. There we go. All right, cruising along. Bead, and I make sure I hold the bead in my fingers with the needle, because otherwise it drops down and then you can't see what the hell you're doing. And my camera's doing that thing again. Okay, lock on, baby. All right, there we go. Okay. Bead and back down. Darn it, this is difficult. Okay, I'm gonna fix the camera and get this so it starts focusing and stays focused because it's driving me crazy. I think I got it, but I don't think so. Is that locked on? There we go. Now I figured it out. Okay. Now I've got it. And I apologize for the wiggle. My stand is going to have a little bit of wiggle to it. Grab the bead, hold it with my fingers, and back down through the hole that the other thread came through. There we go. It's close. So here's where my perfectionism, I gotta get it exactly. There we go. And a bead, grab it, and down. And unlike cross stitch, you know, regular cross stitch, I can change colors without rethreading. So I can do this little green band right here no problem. So let's see. I'm gonna skip over to here. Why not? I can't see what I'm doing. Come on. There. Now let me figure out what color that is. That would be, let's see here. That must be number 4. Looks like it's number 4. Lime green, Kelly green, Hunter green, and then this green. Okay, so these are beads 4. So let me grab some of those. Those will be right here. Just grab a couple. There we go. And down. So on these curves especially is where I noticed you really gotta try and hit the center. Otherwise your beads, the angles of them look all wonky. See, when you're doing a curve, they don't line up real good. That one's not very tight. I might need to, when I'm done, go back through and put an extra stitch in some of these that are laying on their sides, tighten them down. Talked to Danette a few times in the last week or so, FaceTime with her, and she's suggested that we do a stitch along together. So I'll show you a picture of the cross stitch we're gonna start, and we're gonna do it together. And I still need to collect some of the material. Well, I need the material, I think. I don't think I have anything I would use for it as far as the linen. And I need a few colors of floss and beads. So we're going to try and start for June 1st, but I'll show you that. And I'm excited to do that with her. And if anybody else is interested in doing it as well with us, let me know. I'll give you the info on the pattern that we're doing. All right, and then back to the blue again here. So that's it. That's pretty much the gist of the this beaded cross stitch. I think the term cross stitch is not exactly accurate because there's nothing cross about this. It's not on cross stitch fabric. To me, this is just like beaded needlework. I don't know what the correct term would be, but this does not make me think cross stitch at all. But I am enjoying it. I think it'll be very pretty when it's done. I love the colors. It's a bit of a challenge with the cat. You got to do it while she's napping. And I have, dropped a few beads in my lap, and the hoarder in me. When I find a little tiny bead, I can't just throw it away. I have to put it in a little container, and then when I pull this out again, I got to figure out which color it is and put it back with all the other ones, because God forbid I throw away one little bead. But yeah. It's a little tedious, obviously, and just, you know, as far as you can see how much I've done, that kind of tells you what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks with no videos, because I've been watching Netflix and working on this, and I started another diamond painting. I'll show you that. That I tend to do in between phone calls while I'm working. And I haven't been doing a whole lot on my crochet lately. But I might have to go to Michael's or Joanne today to get the missing items for my stitch along with the net. I don't know if they're going to have all that stuff. I might have to go down to that cross stitch store down in Largo. I'll have to check and see if they have any weird hours with COVID, or I can just buy the stuff online. But it would be nice to get out of the house. But I'm trapped now until he finishes his test, because he doesn't even want me walking down the stairs. Apparently it's monitored very closely, the testing, and if they hear anything that sounds suspicious, like there's somebody else around, because they don't want you cheating, then they cancel you, make you stop, and toss you out. So, but yeah, he was telling me that, I can't remember exactly, but I think he said something like 1,000 people a day or a week are moving to the Tampa area. So anyway, and he applied for a different job with a different company, doing basically the same thing, still in the mitigation field, but should be hopefully better pay or whatever. And he took a week off in between leaving his previous job and starting the next one to study for the real estate exam and take it, because, you know, he's going to do that on top of everything else. I often tease him that his headstone is going to say, "He who gets the most shit done wins." So, I don't know. My company, we have our scheduling once a year. We have to bid for the schedule that we're going to have, and it's based on your performance from the prior year. Well, 2020 was a real shit year for me. Terrible. So out of the I don't know, there's probably, now this isn't exact, but I'm ballparking 409 people in my department. They split it into 2 bids. So the top half got to bid first for the shifts, you know, taking the better ones, and they had like a week or so to do that. They divvied out all of their shifts, and then what was left over goes to the bottom half of the group. So there was, I think, maybe 208, 207, something like that, in the second bid. And of the 208, the way it works is whoever's number 1 on the list, they get first pick. whoever's number 2, you've got to pick 2 shifts. If you don't get your first choice, you get your second choice. Third person makes 3 choices. If you don't get your first choice or second, you get third, and so on. I was 199. So there's only, you know, let's say there's 208 people bidding, there's 208 different shifts, and I get to choose. I'm 199th person to choose, so I'm gonna get a pretty shitty shift, I'm assuming. So they've opened up the hours that we work now that we're all working from home for the most part. So they have shifts now. It used to be only worked until midnight was the latest. But now they've got one that, for example, you start at 6:30 p.m. and you work till 3:30 a.m. All kinds of crap like that. So I don't know what my hours are going to be for this next year. But I'm a little scared. Now, I forgot to do that one, but I can go back. Alright. So I'm a little nervous about that. I'm not sure when exactly we find out, but oh well. I kind of wonder sometimes if I would mind working third shift. You know, when I started working till 7:30, it kind of bugged me when it would be dark by 7:30 because I missed all the daylight. I like starting later, but if I keep trying to talk myself into it, wouldn't be so bad. If I didn't even start until 6:30, I'd have from whatever time I wake up in the morning or early afternoon, depending on what time I go to bed. So I get off work at 3:30. Let's say I stay up for another hour or so and I go to bed at 4:30 or 5. So 8 hours of sleep from 5 would be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd have 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 6:30 to do whatever, because he'll be at work. So if I wanted to go shopping, go to the craft store, shoot videos, go to the pool, whatever. I just did that one without even putting a bead on it. Duh. I could just leave it, but I'll know it's there. So let's pull that out. Might not be so bad. And then, you know, he gets up at like 3. So I'd have the mornings. If I wanted to spend time with my husband, I'd be able to from, you know, 3:30 to sorry, very blurry. 3:30 to, you know, 5 when I go to bed. And then if he's off work at like 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon, I'd have from 4 until I start work at 6:30 to, you know, have dinner with him and see him then. So it might not be so bad. Plus, when you work past, I think 7:30 at night, you get a shift premium for working crappy hours. I think it's like 10% extra per hour. And you get a shift premium for working weekends too. And I don't like working weekends. I don't mind Sundays so terribly much, but Saturdays, I just feel like I'm missing out on a lot. I'm working on a Saturday. Plus, it tends to be really busy for some reason. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably find out in maybe a week or so what my actual hours are going to be. But, you know, Brian's not terribly on board with the whole idea of me working those weird hours. He's like, you better just look for a different job. I tend to stay with the same company for a decade, you know. The only reason I've left, like, my last job was because we moved to Florida. And I even tried to get them to let me work remotely, but they wouldn't. So, I don't know. Do I want to go all the way to here, to the end of that? Or do I want to stop and head back? I guess I'll stop and head back. So, I don't know. But if I did end up with one of those third shifts, you know, the shift premium, I'd be making 10% more money. That would be nice. Help us get out of debt faster. I don't know. Seems like, though, if we ever actually were able to go somewhere for like a short weekend vacation or something, that my sleep schedule would be so messed up it would make it really difficult to have any fun. Because I'd be wanting to sleep during the day, and we'd be like total opposites. But I guess, you know, you don't bank your life on if you happen to be able to have a vacation, because we haven't had one in like 4 years. So haven't been able to go away really since we got to Florida. More of a staycation. Take a couple days off work and just stay home. Hang out. I can't bring myself to think about spending money on a vacation when we owe so many people money and so much debt. Oh, come on, I can't see. There we go. All right, and last one there. I can't really see. I've got my frame too high up in the air. It's like it's at nose level, so I can't see past these beads. If there's another one down in there or not. Is there? I can't tell. Doesn't look like it, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't tell if there's another one in there. Might be. No, probably not, because there's only 4 in that one. Okay. And then I could skip down to here, get this in. Getting a thigh workout, though, leaning forward in my chair like this. Feeling the burn. So I'm going to have to stop pretty soon because I'm starting to feel a little in pain. Alright. Not only that, but I kind of want to leave myself enough time to actually edit and post this video. Because like I said, I had recorded 2 other videos in the last couple of weeks and just never got around to getting them edited. I attempted to edit one of them when I was at the beach last weekend, but instead I fell asleep and burned the hell out of my back. Look at that. I picked exactly the right amount of green beads for this. No, I didn't. There's another one there. Damn it. Okay. Need one more. All right, let me grab one more out of the thing. Let's see here. Okay. Ow. Now, if I actually had a sturdy enough thing I was working off of, I could just pick them right out of it. No, it doesn't really work. It kind of does. Okay. Alright. Sounds like he's coming upstairs. Maybe he's done already? Is that possible? What time is it? I don't know. He started his test, I think, at 10:30. Yeah, some of those look wonky, but you can kind of readjust them by putting a second stitch in it. We're gonna call it quits there, and I might go back on some of these that are on the end and put that extra double stitch in like the instructions told me to, and I didn't pay attention. But there you go. That's beaded cross stitch. So hope you're all enjoying your weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Love you guys. Bye. I almost forgot. Okay, this is the diamond painting that I'm working on, and I've gotten, you know, that far. So, Diamond Art Club, love Diamond Art Club, but I'm enjoying it very much. This time I've been doing the black first and then filling in the colors, you know, and then constantly trying to find my wax because Lily over there keeps stealing it. But hey, look, that's where all the magic just happened for that video. Little creative corner. Okay, so that's that, and then what else? I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Wait? Yeah. Oh, and then I don't know if I'm ever going to post it or if I ever did already, but that's the sound of me scratching my ass. Here's the mandala I did, and it's needs some repairs. But I did do a video of me making this that I haven't been able to bring myself to edit, but yeah, I've got some messes. Tried a few things. But if you're interested in seeing that, let me know, and I'll actually put that video together. But, you know, it didn't turn out as great as I thought, because it was supposed to look like that. And clearly it doesn't, but hey, it was an attempt, and I bought all this stuff, so. Alright, now, I'm really gonna go, because my stomach's growling, and my coffee's cold. Alright, love you guys, bye!
Well, there you go. A lot of quiet, sewing, rambling, but got like at least 20 beads put on that thing, so, you know, not exactly the fastest project, but yeah. She's keeping busy, keeping busy. Hope you're keeping busy too. Alright, see you in the next one. Love you. Bye!